Making my day. What does it mean by making my day? Well, in some ways the answer's in the title, because it's you consciously deciding to do something very specific, something that will give you an outcome that you're desiring. You have to be conscious of what you are doing, what you are deciding to put into your day, how you are wanting your day to be shaped. Now the thing is, many of us do not consciously decide to do things. We just automatically just do things because that's the way we have always done things. Now whether or not we are working for a company or we have our own business, there's a point where that we automate things and we don't really think about things because it's working and it's producing something that we are satisfied with. But there could be something much more that we could be gaining from each day, especially when we have the opportunity to make the day the way that we want it. Now granted that everything may not necessarily always turn out exactly the way that we would like it, but at least we're in a position where we can point things in the right direction and start to see some of the benefits that is rightly ours. So, what are some of the first things that we should be looking out for? First point, opportunity. Do we have the opportunity to change, enhance our day, putting things that we ourselves would like to be doing? And I think we need to stop and think, instead of just going through the motions, and stop to think, what are the opportunities? What are the possibilities of me changing things to the way that I would like it to be? Now, you may be in something that's very fixed and regimented, but there's still an opportunity there if you so desire it. Now, whether you take that opportunity early hours of the morning, or later on in the night, or during the daytime, or you have some free time to carve out a space where you can just apply yourself into something that you are wanting to develop in. These things are important because if you're not being aware consciously of where the opportunities may be coming from, and you're not cultivating that space, then you will be some ways forever blindsided by what you may think the lack of opportunity. See, making your day requires you to be making the input into your day, shaping your day the way that you want it to be, shaping the possible results that you yourself could be enjoying. And that will require effort, and that will require you looking for those opportunities throughout your day. And so that's why you hear a lot of people saying, what do you do in your day? How much time do you spend working on things? How much time do you spend on one particular area? Is it balanced, or is there an imbalance? Or is there a gaping hole in what you are doing? And you're totally so tied up with things, you haven't got space or time to be looking or thinking about the possible opportunities that could be before you. Point 2, freedom. Now, freedom comes in many shapes and forms, but freedom ultimately, in some ways, is what do you think your freedom is and what it should consist of. And your freedom, I say, could be some starting point is, do you have the freedom to think for yourself? Do you have the opportunity to just to daydream of what life could be and how you could possibly improve it? Now, if you're in a position where your life is perfect, it's wonderful, you're not hurting for anything, then good, you can just ignore this. But if you're looking for something else, something where you can see yourself growing, expanding, then you're going to start to be looking at the freedom of your thoughts, the freedom of how you do things, the freedom of your spare time, the time that you have given yourself. Now, you may find that you don't have any time to be thinking or dreaming or looking at the possibility of freedom of how you can be using things and seeing the opportunity. Now, that may need you to stop and reevaluate things and say, there must be maybe more to my life than just doing this, whatever job or situation you're doing, or your side hustle. Because you may find that what you're doing is not creating the freedom that you truly want. And so you may need to reevaluate, what does freedom really means to you? My third point is this: reality. What is the reality that you are actually living in? Is it true? Are you taking in the full circumstances that surround you? Do you have responsibilities for family, for other people in your life, or other people that depend upon you? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you in the best possible shape, mentally, physically, or even spiritually? Are you taking care of yourself in those areas? What's the reality of you challenging yourself to move out of your comfort zone? Because making your day is going to require you to test things, to experiment, to adapt, to change. For example, if you are wanting to take on a lot more responsibility in the job that you're doing, but you feel very sluggish, the question you should be considering is, am I in good shape physically? And if you're carrying a few kilos extra, maybe you need to think about doing some form of exercise. Whatever exercise that may be. Maybe swimming, it could be jogging, skipping, stretching, yoga, whatever. Because by checking your reality, and if it's in the physical area, then you need to start to find ways to deal with that, and maybe you need some help in doing that. And again, if it's in the mental, the psychological area, if you find that you are hitting a roadblock every single time that you are wanting to move forward, again, you may find that you may need help in that area, and find the best way that you can really move forward with that. And by the way, as a side note, this is the area that I can really help and move you forward with. But you need to understand that a reality check is often required, because sometimes we set unrealistic goals, unrealistic objectives, and things that we are really wanting to do, and we may not be there mentally, physically, or even spiritually to move in that direction at the present time and moment. And we may need to take some smaller steps, a detour in getting ourselves in a position where we can then start to move into that reality. Because sometimes the reality that we are wanting to move into is something that we are not necessarily ready for. Even though we see it, we understand it, we say, yes, I understand this makes sense to me. But you may be 3 months away from that, 6 months away from that, a year from that. And so you're going to have to do some other things to get you in shape so that you can handle that level that you're moving up into. You know? And yes, it's possible for you to just jump in there and just learn on the go, learn on the fly. And some people are able to do that. But if you're able to prepare yourself, build yourself up, do your research, develop your mental, your physical, your spiritual aspects of yourself, then you'll be a more rounded person who's able to deal with the new reality that you're wanting to present yourself. You see, every day is a new reality that hasn't been fully written yet. And it's requiring you and your input to make that day. So the reality check is important. So to conclude this newsletter, Sunday Connoisseur, and again, as a connoisseur of your own mind and making your day, you got to be one, looking for the opportunity, making the opportunity, two, understanding the freedom that you have to change and shape your own day, your own reality. And for a lot of us, that's a hard thing to grasp and even start to do, because we're so used to other people shaping and telling us what our own reality should be. But in fact, we have the power, we do have the authority to change our day and the freedom to do so. But you've got to be prepared to spend that time in shaping it. The reality is that end of the day, it's always down to the individual, down to you to decide how your day will be. And most likely, it starts from the night before. How are you ending your day before? How are you preparing for the coming day? You're not just limited to a set script or a set routine that people would like you to do. You can change it. And you can start to change small details in your life and see what happens. See how does it make you feel? Are you seeing freedom? Are you seeing new opportunities? Are you seeing the reality of what you're living in? And then you're able to start to make those intelligent, clear decisions of how you're wanting to make your day. So, hope and believe that this little newsletter has been of help to you. And if it has, please press like, share this newsletter with other people. And if you haven't, join our newsletter group, tribe, posse, as it grows and develops. Yes, this newsletter is in a different format, and I felt like I would change it up from the written one. So, please leave your comments. Check out our newsletter, check out our website, we have a blog there as well, and you'll find things there that will potentially help you in moving to whatever level you're wanting to move to. So, until next time, take care now. Bye bye.